And I'm back. It's pie time. It's not. You're an hour too early. I'm back. Hi. I did some stretches, moved around, worked myself up. Do you know what? Like, having a break every hour works really well for my ADHD, I think. Anyway, back to the save. So yeah, basically I'm gonna smelt down all of this kelp. I'm gonna put it in like a chest, which will feed into two different furnaces or something like that. So let's go and do that. Let's take this stuff. I can take like one more thing with me. We'll take some more kelp. Basically, I want the kelp blocks. I had a freaking small crow stuck in your balcony. Weird. That's cool. So I think for this hour, I want to focus on planning out and putting in the different areas for the base, right? We're going to start small. Just have a few buildings, mark out some of the paths, that sort of thing. I want my main building here. This is going to be right in the center, and it is going to go right up to the top of the water edge. But for the time being, probably not. That is something I've got to be aware of, because we've got... we're technically in tropical ocean here, so we've got stuff. So all of this kelp I want to take down, and I want to start working out like pathing and things like that. So let's get this done. We'll get one more lot, and then we will do a couple of chests. So this is going to be output. We also want a couple of these. We need some hoppers. Wait, do I not? Oh, I don't have any chests. Dumbo. So that's one. That's two. We'll pop that there for the time being. Hopefully it won't fly away. Oh, right. Hoppers, two. Oh, you can't waterlog hoppers. That's annoying. That's annoying. Okay, so that's good to know. That means we can't use hoppers in decoration underwater. Yeah, time to turn it all into dried kelp. Correct. That's exactly what we're doing. Okay, but I mean, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. We need some more hoppers. So we need some more. More of those. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. That should be enough in terms of chests. Let's make 2 more hoppers. I mean, this is a temporary measure anyway, these hoppers here. Oop, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. So, advantages and disadvantages of working underwater. I can't stop myself from dropping down. So like, even if I hit crouch and space, I can't just like hover. I always like stop. So I have to like continuously hit space. But if I want to hit crouch to like place something, it's not great. So that's going to be annoying. Okay, time to turn the kelp into dried kelp, because we want the kelp blocks. And let's continue building, creating a little perimeter around this. We'll take as much of this down. Now, a lot of the terrain, I think I'm gonna keep with like the hills and stuff. This like hill here, I might terraform a little bit, so we might like get rid of some of the sand, and it will need sand at some point, so it makes sense to kind of do a little bit of terraforming. What I don't want to leave is like the small little last bits. So yeah. And then these crevices, this ravine, we're probably going to cover up. Now, in terms of a cyberpunk city, what I think I want for a flooring is probably like a combination of black stone and black concrete, that sort of a thing. So like a chipped black, grey, maybe deep slate might work as like a kind of a dark undercity vibe. That's at least my idea in my head. I don't know whether it will work. This is the first time for a lot of things for me. So the first time I'm building underwater, or at least in a while, like on a scale of this is my starter base, right? Because this is let's be honest, this is a starter base, right? This is an underwater starter base. Like, I'm not going like full wham. I'm not creating something crazy. Like I'm doing enough to survive, but because for my starter base, I have been to the Nether, and beaten ocean monument. That's actually quite funny, I think. Still a starter base. Like but it has given me access to some like really cool materials that I wouldn't have had access to normally. And it has created quite an interesting challenge. I guess the proper starter base was like the outside fishing area on land. But I want to move underwater now. I want to actually start this base. Because I've got ideas for it, but it's whether or not I'm going to be able to translate those ideas into the game. That's the thing. Okay, we need to pick up all of this kelp, because otherwise it's going to lag me out. The semi-starter base is on land. Well, I mean, I feel like before you ever, like in Minecraft, right, your survival world, when you have a starter base, the actual starter base, it doesn't really get started until you've gathered your materials, right? And unless you're like just building like a dirt shack, for instance. So that over there, that area that we've got over there, that's my dirt shack. That's what I've created. We're gonna move it over. Apart from maybe the wheat might stay, but yeah, effectively I've created my dirt shack over there. That's my dirt shack. Without actually having the dirt shack, I just had like a fishing platform, and eventually I might like put some buildings over there just to kind of like support the fact that there is thing. I mean, nothing much, just like a gazebo or something a bit more fishery. For that, I'm probably gonna get inspired by Green's Minecraft Hermitcraft base. Probably what I'll get inspired by. Also, now that we've started working here, I can actually sleep during the night. But yeah, like the conduit, for instance, I mean, all I did to get the stuff is fish, right? Like, that's all. Oh, my inventory's full. Doesn't matter too much if we do lose all this kelp. At the end of the day, I can create a kelp farm fairly easily. And that's probably going to be one of the farms that we'll create here, like a sea pickle farm and a kelp farm and maybe some form of... I mean, it'd be nice if you could do coral block farms. That would be amazing. If you could turn like the coral pieces into coral blocks, that would be fantastic. But unfortunately, that's not the case. Oh, I can hear my washing machine turning up, which tells me that I didn't close the door downstairs. So we're gonna get peaks of washing machine explodification in my microphone. And I do apologize, but it is what it is. Oh, so hear that washing machine? Yep. The only way I know you can hear it, because the way that I can hear it is through my headphones. I can't hear it outside of my headphones. I can hear it through my headphones, which means it's coming through my mic. It's like a jet engine in your Minecraft world. Yeah. It's fine. So something that I wouldn't mind trying to get... do you get conduit power? Ooh, copper block. Did the drowned get conduit power as well? He had fart bubbles. I guess the drowned doesn't need the conduit power, but yeah, they must get it. So, furnaces work underwater. That's great to know. The hoppers will work. I'm going to run out of coal in here, but that's fine. Conduits attack mobs? Do they? Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. See, I don't really know that much about the conduits because I've never really played around with them. I mean, I've used conduits in the past, so in my old single player world, I had a conduit in like an underwater feature area, but I never really did much with that. I don't know if you remember, it was... Oh, actually, it might have been on Jamorian's server. I had a conduit set up. It might have been on Jamorian's server, yeah, because it was underneath the church. But actually, yeah, no, I've never had a single player conduit before because I'll tell you how I know that. I've never in single player beat the monument, right? The underwater monument. I've never beat that in single player before. So yeah, it must have been on Jamorian's server. Right, next thing, have we kind of cleared out a good enough area? Let's get some more of the kelp down over here. There we go, the washing machine has landed, I think, at least for the time being. We'll see if it takes off again. All I need to do with this is just clear out the area. The next thing I'm probably going to get is all of this sand. So we'll pick up all the sand and then I'll start placing... Actually, maybe I won't. I won't get rid of the sand until it comes to replacing it with like a footpath or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I'm torn. Right, I think that's enough of the kelp cleared out, at least for the time being. It looks so weird because the only thing that's giving off light down there is the furnaces. There you go, we'll pick up the rest of this kelp. So, there's fart bubbles here. What is happening? What is this about? What is that? The fart bubbles persist. It's a bug. Ugh. How long has that been in the game? Since 1.13? I think that's when conduits were added in. Yeah, so I mean, effectively, because I didn't really play around with the 1.13 version of Minecraft, like, because I kind of went through like a huge burnout in Minecraft, right? So the versions that I played of Minecraft, or I have played of Minecraft, was version 1.6, maybe 1.7, that sort of thing, very early on. Didn't really play too much of it. Little bits here, there, and everywhere. Then I had a fairly big world that got corrupted around about the 1.9, maybe 1.10 time. No, that was the multiplayer server that I had that was 1.10. So the single player save must have been 1.8 to 1.9, and then when they changed over, there was like an area in that world that got really corrupted, and it's like, oh, I don't want to play on this world anymore because like the whole world, like near spawn, has been corrupted, and there's just like horrible looking terrain. This was before I was really any good at like building. So a lot of my base was like an underwater fishing base. Then I went on a kind of like a huge burnout after the server. So the server, we definitely did 1.10 and 1.11, I think, because was that when we changed, when granite changed the textures and you could, or it added like diorite and granite and stuff. One of those updates, it added the diorite, granite, and andesite. And I built loads of like bridges out of granite and maybe andesite. 1.8 was those rocks. Okay, I don't know. I'm losing track. So maybe the server was before 1.10 then. No, because No, the server was definitely after that because we had access to shulker boxes and elytra. But I think it was shortly after 1.9 I stopped playing. And then I didn't really pick it up until I didn't pick it up again until 1.12. Because that was the color update. And I kind of played a little bit of the water update, but then I just kind of like stopped again. That was the old single player save. The one that I basically, I had the pirate ship in. So that was designed around 1.12, and then I kind of picked it up. I was in and out of that save. I stopped playing it for a while, and then I came back to it to build the pirate ship in 1.14, I think, or maybe 1.13. I don't know. It's one of the two. They didn't add the polish stuff immediately. Yeah, the polish stuff was added immediately. You could polish it immediately. I don't think maybe stairs weren't added. Like, they had the polish stuff, but the stairs weren't added until a little bit later or something like that. Yeah, the polish blocks were added with the actual blocks. But you couldn't turn it into stairs and slabs. Originally, it was the stairs and slabs that you couldn't have. Or maybe it was like the walls or something like that. There was something that they missed from it. I'm tempted to mend these boots before they die because we don't have another depth strider, and we're going to need depth strider down here. Okay, so I've got this stuff sorted. Let's make another chest to put all of my current items in that I've got here for the time being, just so that we can store a few things here. Do you know what? I'm not going to need the torches actually at the moment, am I? Or the axe. Well, actually, no, I will need the axe in a sec. We'll keep the axe and the hoe. We'll keep the hoe here, so I don't think I... No, I will need that in a sec. Okay, shut up, Womble. Stop overcomplicating it. But I am going to use the dirt. I'll keep the logs here. I am going to use the dirt now because I want... So we've got a center point. The top of the bed here is a center point, right? So that is the center point. That's the spawn point. That's where our bed is always going to be. And in the center of this, we've got the conduit directly above. So that's actually, it gives us some indication. So we want a build that kind of, I mean, this is going to be our starter build, right? Like, it's got to encompass this sort of an area. And because I want to do a cyberpunky kind of thing, I need to figure out, I shouldn't have put that chest there. I need to figure out where is going to be best for the building to be. Now, do we want it big? Do we want it small? I kind of want like a square-ish building. It needs to have like a thick base. Now, I did have a couple of ideas that I saw on the Reddit. So I like the idea of having a reddish tint to it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to work out a front for my immediate build, right? And let me get this, because I've got a really cool reference image. This was like the best reference image that I could think that mixed the colors that I wanted. I'm obviously not going to copy this exactly, but this is kind of like what I was thinking about. This sort of a build is going to be my underwater starter base kind of thing. Probably on a smaller scale. So we've got, instead of here, I'm going to be using like the tough blocks instead of the deep slate. The tough, I think, is a better... Actually, this has got tough in, hasn't it? This must be this must be a newer thing. But, and also, instead of like the orangey browns, I'm going to turn that into a deeper red. So we've got like this bluey color and a reddy color, right? I'm going to utilize I'll probably use terracotta in this and probably the orange sand, maybe. But yeah, it probably won't go as light up here, if that makes sense. And it's going to be this sort of a shape, so it's going to be squares, basically. That's what I've got in my head. So that's what I want to build. Whether or not I'm going to actually build that is a different thing. So that is the idea. That's kind of like the concept. Also, I was looking at something else, which I saved earlier. Let's see if I can find it, which one it was. Because the other, no, oh shit, I didn't actually save it. The other one was from a video, right? And I spoke about this earlier, and basically there's a YouTuber that I was watching, Dippy Blether, that was mixing the tuff blocks with some interesting color palettes. So they've kind of gone on the color wheel here and found the colors of the tuff and found complementing opposite colors. So on the deep red, you've got the granite, you've got the redstone, and you've got the nether warts. And the reason why these work so well is because they complement each other out. So what I'm gonna kind of probably, I mean, what I'm utilizing from this, I think that's a chacha wood, but down here you've got the, is that spruce maybe? But I'm probably gonna use, that's the jungle, so I'll probably use like a combination of these blocks, maybe this range down around here, combined with the bricks, if I can, also combining those two, because I think this looks very cyberpunky, the redstone block itself. And she did an interesting little pattern here. I don't think that the shade of the red is quite right for me, but I liked this, the way that she's kind of used the tuff here as like an accent to the red walls. So that's kind of what I've got in my head. Obviously, style is going to be cyberpunk. It's going to be very square, blocky. So it's kind of this combined with this kind of a thing. Probably not as much of the green. I'm probably not going to add as much of that in, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. That's the detailing side. What I want to do, I want to start blocking out where this is going to be, and then we can start working on paths. So this is inspired, combined with this, combined with, there was another one as well, and I can't remember where. There was another one as well. No, stop, green. It wasn't that one. Yeah, anyway, those were kind of like the two inspirational things that I've kind of got up. Bear with me, because I'm... just so you're aware what I'm taking the inspiration from. Yeah, so with that in mind, let's work out the first building which we can expand upon, right? Because I like the idea of starting off with a singular building. It's got an entrance, we know where the entrance is, and then the back of it will just get expanded on. So we're not going to detail on like the other three sides of it, we'll just detail the front. And then we'll have like several different fronts, or maybe like areas where it kind of like looks like it's been built upon in stages. And then we'll have like fixtures that's going to hold up this platform that's going to be on the water top. And that is what's going to hold the bigger city up above. So this is the Undercity. We're going to have two cities, basically. We're going to have the Undercity, which is the underwater, cyberpunky, grimy feel. And then the Upper City, which is a little bit more pristine, tower blocks, raised up, neon signs, that sort of thing. That's where the upper people live, like the higher ups live. That's kind of what I've got going on in my head. I don't know how it's going to work. So the next question that I've got for you guys, now let's switch over back to Minecraft. So the next question that I've got for you guys is, once we've got this city, like this Undercity built, do we keep, two questions, this is a double part question. So question one, do we keep the exterior of the buildings underwater, or do we kind of like glass it off in areas, and there's like air pockets, and there's an advantage for that, which I'll go through in a sec. Or do we keep the exterior underwater? Second question is, do we keep the interiors underwater, or do we give that air pockets? So let's talk about advantages and disadvantages to both. Advantage of keeping everything underwater. First off, it's cool as fuck, and the conduit would then have a purpose. But on the exteriors, you're going to be limited with what you can actually decorate. So for instance, like end rods, which I'm thinking are going to be a huge part of the decoration process, and things like redstone stuff, like the hoppers, which I'm actually quite annoyed about, that I'm going to be using for... Hello? Oh, there's a baby... Okay. It's baby drowned. The hoppers that cannot get waterlogged are going to look weird, right? Like, they're just not going to fit. Also, if we decide to have the interiors as waterlogged as well, then you can't use hoppers or like little detaily things as well, like torches and other stuff. I'm not sure what levers are like, but I feel like they're not going to be able to be waterlogged. So it's like little things like that you're going to be restricted on if the area isn't. And I think on a small scale, having the pathways out here as water-based, so you're actually swimming around the paths, is going to be quite fun. I think the interiors should all be dry, so it should be dry on the interior regardless, I think. Or maybe it's the added challenge of having everything underwater. I mean, after all, we've got the conduit. We may as well use it, right? So what do you guys think? Whilst you're thinking about that, let me start working on the area that we're going to have for this. The advantage of having all of this drained out eventually is that we'll be able to move around a lot more freely, but we're not going to be able to like scale the outside like we can underwater kind of thing. Keep it waterlogged outside. Okay. Could look more cohesive. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm in two minds. I mean, I kind of like the idea as well of having like buildings that have glass domes around them to protect the buildings that aren't actually attached to the major structures. So maybe we could do like a combination, right? We could do a combination of these bigger builds that will go all the way up to the top that are built and designed to function underwater, and then like some smaller stuff like over here, for instance, that can protect the this thing, the amethyst area, where this is actually in a glass bubble kind of thing. So we could do a combination. And then we just say, well, if we're doing a combination, we'll decide on that later on kind of thing like that, right? Like, don't need to decide on that now. We can decide that later. I've run out of dirt. So I think that's where the initial building is going to be. Like I said, I do like the idea of having like these structures jetting out that can hold up the platform above. So I think like this as kind of like, is that square? Like, what is that? So we've got one, let's count the blocks from the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've actually got 7 by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. That's weird that I made a square. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, shame. I didn't quite do it. I may as well make it 7 by 7 by 7 for the time being, for the first, like, kind of structure. The first building, almost. And then, like I said, we can add bits onto it as we go. So we don't need to detail all of the areas. We just need to kind of like finish it off. So we've got a final wall structure maybe. And then we can add bits to it after the fact. We'll detail the front. So, next question. Where is the front going to go? I guess it doesn't overly matter. We've got the monument over there behind us. And in this direction, we've got the island. I guess the front wants to be facing towards the island. But then also, we're going to have a road that comes from over in that direction into that direction, right? Or some form of road structure. So that's another question, actually. Do we want this in the center of this, or is this going to be a road that comes through as like a tunnel? And maybe the tunnel, maybe the road can be like glass roofed over kind of thing, and there's like a glass dome that kind of you get in and out of. Actually, that's a good idea. Yeah, maybe we change where this is then. Instead of this being in the center, we shift it over a little bit. The problem with that is that then we've got to deal with the conduit, and I do want the conduit in the center. So maybe what we could do, maybe we could incorporate this road, this line through, as part of the build. You know how I said we're going to have like an entrance? The conduit hanging on strings between the buildings. No, I want the conduit inside the building itself, right? So there will be a room inside the building that will contain the conduit, but it's going to have like a glass wall so we can look into it and see the conduit. So yeah, the conduit is going to be in the building. Because I think some of the rooms need to be drained and other rooms need to have water. Now, again, a combination, I think. I think that's the best way for me to go. Maybe make a building bridge. Yeah, like a building bridge. So maybe like figure out here how tall this... Maybe that's the first thing I need. I need to like figure out where this road is going to be and how we going to do the road. Yeah, bridging across the road. Yeah, I like that. And then like have like a dome. Because the road will be drained out, right? It's something that I've got to think about for the future. Actually, no, I think what we're gonna do, we'll have the exit of the road, right? Because the road, the exit of the road is going to be where the conduit power ends. Because all of this is conduit, so we can do whatever we want around all of this area, right? But I like the idea that the road that goes back to our first base is like an underwater tunnel that kind of goes and then just stops, and then you like come out the end. So I've got a question, Animal. You might be able to answer this. If I had a horse and I was riding it on the road and then I entered the conduit power, is that horse going to drown? Like, so this is approximately the area. Is that horse going to drown, or does it also receive the conduit power? I generally don't know. The horse will still drown. Ah, okay. So yeah, we're gonna have to make sure that the road is a tunnel the entire way. Skelly horses never drown. Yeah, I don't care. I need normal horses. Normal horses are faster than skelly horses. Normal horses swim up. Yeah, but it's too deep for them to do it. Like when we had the dog that teleported to us when we died, it drowned underwater. There was nothing I could do. Yeah, normal horses are loads faster. I mean, let's be honest, I'm probably not going to... I don't know. Right, that's a future me problem. That's what that is. That's a future me problem. I'm not going to worry about the road. What we'll do, I will have... I mean, I do need a main road that comes through, so I need to figure that out. I think this starter base should have the face... I think it should face onto the road itself, right? So this is where maybe the main road ends. I mean, in my other city, the road goes around the village and it kind of like weeps around kind of thing. It's like it goes round. So maybe that's just what we do. When because once it gets past the starter village, it's going to go on a straight line down the z-axis of 0, right? But it's going to like kind of go around the terrain a little bit. It's not going to stick to a straight line, but hopefully we'll balance out on 0 the entire way, right? So I don't know where the road's going to be until I start building the road, right? So we're not going to worry about that. We will adjust the road according to where this initial building is. I think this initial building being right in the center is more important for me. Okay, so now I need to figure out which way is the way it's facing. And I think this is going to be our front. So let's start getting rid of this sand here, because we don't need it. And then I'm going to start getting... I'm going to get more dirt to kind of like build the front face almost. And then I'm going to start getting like the tuff to kind of give me an edge. And we'll start putting in some of these blocks. I need to go and get the actual blocks first. But yeah, I think that is good. So it is, width-wise, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I see. So it's 8. It's 16, 15 wide. We could make it a little bit thinner and make it 13 wide, but I think I like it being 15 wide. We can play around with maybe the base of this. We're gonna have like a weird door that is superimposed here. Maybe, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Right, I think the next thing I want to do is I want to start bringing blocks down here from where we were in the past. So where's my chest? I'm going to hate myself for this. Oh, okay, it gave me 1. Yeah, building underwater is going to have a few challenges. Kind of noticing. I've not seen very many. Why am I trying to? I've not seen very many drowned yet. Which tells me that there's like some cave network very close to where we are that isn't lit up. I thought that was going to be a huge issue. Yeah, so this is what we've got. We've got like this kind of area. I think that works. And it really is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the middle, which is 7 on the outside. So we are building with an even number, which is cool. Odd number, which is cool. Let's start putting... I'm going to keep the chests outside here. And this is where all the resources are going to go. I'm literally going to start ferrying resources to and from here. That's probably the most challenging part of all of this, is ferrying resources, I think. We'll keep that with us. We don't need that. I'm literally going to be on bare minimum. We'll keep this cooked salmon. I'll tell you what we do want. Ow. Right, how do I turn this boat into a Minecraft? There we go, that's how. Cool. First time I'm actively using the boat with the chest in it. But I think this is the best way for me to move vast amounts of resources over. Sure. I'm literally just gonna take everything. How do I access the... Oh, I have to get in the boat to access its inventory? That's not annoying. Okay, boat's full. Take this one. And I'm full. Okay, we'll be back. At least I think the boat's full, right? Yeah. Yeah, just like donkeys and mules with chests. You have to get, wait, you have to get on donkeys and mules to use them? Hold shift to not get in while opening its UI. Okay. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So if we shift, yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. So I'm probably gonna hate myself for doing this, but I'm gonna put the chests out here for the time being, because when I come to want to move this, everything's gonna go everywhere, and it's gonna be worse in the water. Okay, get out of here. Ooh. Also got some copper. Copper farm is also something that we might have a play around with at some point. There we go. Give me that. Oh, and I can't break the boat to break its contents, or maybe I can actually, but I don't want to do it while we're out in the water. That's annoying. I didn't think I'd ever use the boat chest mechanic, but apparently I am. It doesn't matter that this is all out of order. So at some point we're going to need Silk Touch. That's probably going to be my next enchantment that I'm going to get, is the Silk Touch enchantment. Otherwise I'm going to have to smelt everything, and that's going to be a pain in the backside. Let's take this. We will also take this. It might be wise leaving some of this stuff here, actually, if we've got our enchanting table here. Because the enchanting table I'm not going to take with us, because I can't move the bookshelves just yet. And all of this stuff I'm going to leave here. Like, I don't need this stuff. Alright, like, we may as well keep this stuff here. I'll probably bring the brewing stand, maybe? I'm not sure. So, we don't need everything, but I do need, like... Yeah, so I think I'm gonna leave a chest with my gear here. Like, the things that I need to enchant. That's what we'll do. If you mine bookshelves now, you just get 3 books a piece. What, even with Silk Touch? You can't Silk Touch them? That's always been the case, though. It's just that you've been able to Silk Touch them in the past, right? No, Silk works. Yeah, so that's always been the case, dude. You just get 3 books for the... What's it? Yeah, that's always been the case. You have to Silk Touch them to get all of your things. So let's leave the tools and stuff here because I don't want them. Just cost woods without silk to make them again. Yeah, that's how it's always been. That's not new as far as I'm aware. That's not a new feature. Did we get Silk Touch? No. I mean, eventually I'll need to repair the helmet and leggings. I will keep these stuff with us. Obviously, while I've got my helmet with Aqua Affinity on, we want to use that because we're building and mining and stuff underwater. The music disc. Where's my other music disc? Is it in here? Nope. Where's my... Wait. Uh-oh. Where's my good music disc? No! Did I let it despawn? Did I lose it? Is it in here? Did I put it in here? Oh, no! I lost my nice, good, beautiful music disc. That's annoying. Oh well. Is what it is. I think it was the other side that we had. I'm gonna put that there so we don't lose Cat. That's a little bit annoying. Are we all gonna take Rich with us? Okay, we do actually need to leave bits behind. Unless there's room. There's no room. Come on, let's go and get it. Yeah, I lost the other side. That's annoying. I am actually quite annoyed that I've lost the other side because that's quite a rare one. Like, I don't know where else you can get. You can't get them from the creepers, right? So you can only get them from like random treasure chests. Only dungeon chests and strongholds, exactly. Which is annoying. It's a stupid mechanic, in my opinion. Unless I act... Oh, wait, it's there. Never mind, I found it. I brought it with my other stuff. Never mind, we're good. Oh, I hate the water. I'm already regretting doing an underwater base. So these blocks, if we get the dried kelp and then turn them into the actual blocks themselves, I think that's going to go quite well with these buildings, because you've got that weird white stripe that goes along it. Kind of looks like it's, I don't know, it looks very grimy, right? Like, at least that's how I see it. So I think kelp blocks, weirdly enough, is going to be quite an interesting building block, because it's got that like white stripe, but at the same time, you know. Yeah, bug. Do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make sure that we don't lose other side, because I'll be very annoyed with myself if I do. You know, and put it with the other, with cat. So it stays with the music disc, because I'm gonna... Actually, I'll probably move the music jukebox with us. I'll leave it there for the time being. Where did I put it? I put it in here. Yep, there we go. Cool. Oh yeah, I guess I can only take like a double chest worth of junk, right? Yeah, I can only take like a double chest's worth of junk at a time. It's quite annoying. This is going to take several trips. And then shortly, something else that we're going to want to start doing is getting red blocks, I think. Once we've started work on this, we'll actually start work on the build. Although ChatGPT did say that we're only allowed to spend 2 to 3 hours on Minecraft today. So this is what, my second break, I think. So I want to keep the arrows, please. So in a sec, I'm going to go on my final ad break for Minecraft, then we'll switch over to RimWorld, because that's what ChatGPT said. And yes, I am going to start doing more of this, by the way, where I'm just making ChatGPT make decisions for me, because I'm incapable of making my own. Our AI overlords. At the moment, the gimmick's quite good, and I'm enjoying it. Like, if it got to a point where it's like, I don't want to do what you've suggested, I'm not going to do it, right? I'm not stupid. At the moment, it's quite fun, though, because it's quite funny. I find it quite funny. I'm going to keep the steak with me as well. I find it quite funny myself. I guess we can put down the last double chests. I find it quite funny that I basically gave 4 different options for ChatGPT to do for today's stream, and in my opinion it picked the thing that made the most sense to me. Is just that when I was asking, I need help, I couldn't make the decision. It was really weird. And yesterday it worked really well. But I think yesterday's stream was balanced. It was fairly well balanced. I would have liked to have spent more time on Rimworld, I think. But the fact that I played both, because I don't normally play 2 games in a stream, right? And ChatGPT told me to do it, so I did it. Oh, I should have brought the boat around this side. Well, at least this is the last trip. Alright, let's go and get my last little bits of goodies. There we go. We're good. Right, how is the copper oxidizing? So I have a question, Animal. You might know this. Will copper oxidize underwater? I imagine it does, but I'm not overly convinced. Yes, it will. Okay, good. That's what I thought, but again, it's things that I've just not tested. I don't know what the water physics are like, really, because I never build underwater, so I just don't know anything about those physics in Minecraft. Okie dokie, chat. I'm gonna go and head on a break real quick. I'm gonna go and get a quick snack, actually. I'm a little bit peckish, so I might be more than 3 minutes this time. We'll kind of see. When I get back, we will actually start placing down blocks. I can't guarantee that those blocks are going to mean anything or actually resemble anything, but we'll start placing down proper blocks and figure out what we want to do. Actually, we might go hunting for more blocks, but I'll be back very shortly.